Hello and welcome back to the weekly Q&A. Here we are in front of my PC with the 70s glass. It's back. I didn't use it on the TGS podcast because, well, look at it. It's way too stylish. It would have put everyone off their game. And it doesn't house nearly enough water for a 3-hour podcast. That's a fact. So I had to use the imposter Coca-Cola glass. Just that once. I'm back on the 70s glass now. So, my day has been rather slow on YouTube because I started 2 uploads last night. Guild Wars 2. It was a video about the bounty missions, tier 1 and 2 bounty missions. Pretty chaotic, but still interesting. I think those that aren't in big enough guilds to be able to do it, and perhaps those that, played a bit of Guild Wars and took a break, people that basically want to see how the guild missions work, they'll appreciate this video. And XCOM is XCOM. But I started those last night. I was banking on Guild Wars 2 being done and ready to go live at around lunchtime today. And XCOM maybe 3, 4, 5 p.m. I don't know. But then lunchtime came around and the Guild Wars video was stuck on processing. 3, 4, 5 p.m. came around. It was still on processing. Same thing happened to the XCOM video. Now, 8:50 p.m. both uploads have failed. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say about that. I had to restart both of them. That means that the Guild Wars video might go live tonight. Hoping it's going to go live tonight. I'm recording this on Tuesday, for those wondering. But XCOM's only going to go live tomorrow morning. Because it's a biggish video, 1080p. It takes a while. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. YouTube was not playing along. I would have, if those 2 had gone up, I would probably have had those 2 plus a newsman up today. Because Thief 4, or at least Thief, the reboot of the Thief franchise, really? Couldn't they just call it Thief 4? What's wrong with calling it Thief 4? Anyway, it was revealed today. I wanted to make a newsman about it, but it seems like I'm only going to get that up tomorrow, which is fine. It really is. Hopefully by tomorrow there'll be better screenshots out, ones without the big watermarks on them. We'll see. So, I apologize to anyone that was expecting a video today. Maybe the Guild Wars still goes up. That would be amazing. But anyway, let's get to the questions. First one from Jan94319. I had to think a second there. Where did Guild Wars 2 go? I don't know why it's so funny to me, but it just is. It just is. If you think about it, that could be a pretty questionable question. But I'm going to read it as, where did Guild Wars 2 go? Nowhere. I'm uploading it right now. But I suppose maybe Jan is seeing the future. Maybe Jan is an alternate version of today. And Jan saw that video going live when it was meant to go live. And then it just snapped back to reality and the video was gone. Jan, I both envy you and I feel sorry for you. I really do. Sounds like a tough burden. But Guild Wars 2 hasn't gone anywhere. I'm still doing a lot of it on my channel. I am going to be doing a lot more of it in the coming weeks and months because I'm playing it properly again. I have plans of doing some fractals runs. I'm going to be taking random members that are online with me to do it. I think that's the fairest thing to do, so people that actually play get sort of rewarded by being in the video and stuff. And, it's just easier that way. I don't need to organize anything. I can just jump in, and if anyone's there that wants to do it with me, I take them. So I'm going to be doing some fractals runs. I want to do maybe a dungeon or 2. I am definitely going to be recording the guild missions. We're going to be trying tier 3 guild bounty missions, and that is going to be such a blast. I'm going to love it. It's going to be so crazy and such a rush to try and get it done in that 15-minute window that you've got to do it that I just can't wait. I can't. Anyway, Guild Wars 2 is still here. It's not going anywhere. Trevor Sherwood. Hi, Lumin. Question for this week. What are your thoughts on Diablo 3 coming to PlayStation? Also, I'm just wondering if you could do a competition for the people on the XCOM list to get their names further up. Let's answer the second one first. I think that's an amazing idea. I didn't think about that at first. I didn't think of doing something like that. But honestly, it sounds plausible. Some way of rewarding a person on the list with, a higher spot. I was thinking of trying, how to say that, but with a higher spot up, with a higher ranking, closer to actually being customized and brought to life. So I would have to do something special with it. I'm not sure exactly what. Maybe I have a competition where you create a fictional version of yourself that would sort of fit with the whole theme of XCOM. That could be fun. That really could be. Now, I would obviously not use it exactly like that. Maybe I'll spice it up a little bit. But that'll get everyone's creative juices flowing, and then it could be interesting as well. Seeing a whole bunch of different character biographies, mini biographies, because you've got to make it short enough to fit in a YouTube comment. But that could be fun. Maybe something else. Maybe something completely different and more random. I don't know. I'll think about it and see what I can do. And I'll definitely get back to you guys, because I like that idea. Then, my thoughts on Diablo 3 coming to PlayStation. They're simple. I think it is the best thing that could possibly have happened to the Diablo series of games. Or at least to Diablo 3. Maybe not to the rest of the series, because they're not really relevant at this point. But it is an amazingly good thing for Diablo 3, because it might well give Blizzard an influx of money into the Diablo series or franchise or development team, whatever you want to call it. It'll basically just get a whole new crowd of people interested. They'll sell a lot more copies of the game, obviously on consoles, not on PC. Maybe it boosts the PC popularity as well. And with this influx of people buying their game, they might be able to spend more on the game, make it better, maybe get the expansion out faster, and with that fix a whole bunch of things. I just think it's great. And added to that, I think it's going to play amazingly well on PlayStation as well. I just think that they'll get it right. Maybe I'm just being way too positive about this. Maybe I'm being way too optimistic. But I think that Blizzard would know their way around a console well enough to be able to make a decent port of Diablo. And from the screenshots I've seen, and from what I've heard about how it's meant to play, it just sounds good. It's the kind of game that can work, because it has already been so simplified that I might even at some point pick it up on console if it's really, really good. Who knows? Then, Firestorm123, Lumin, what's the longest hike you've ever been on? That's such an interesting question, because me, as a South African, that's a word I never see. I just don't. Maybe I see some, I don't know, posh city goers saying it every now and then. Those guys up in Johannesburg that don't actually have anywhere to walk to. I don't know. Maybe some people in Cape Town that can't go out far enough to actually go on a proper hike. But Cape Town has Table Mountain right there. That classifies as one of the best hikes ever. Anyway, that's not a word that I personally use in my day-to-day life, ever. I'm not sure what classifies as a hike. Does it just mean like a really long walk? Does it mean a walk up something? Is there some special attribute that this walk needs to have? I'm just not sure. Regardless, I've been on super long hikes, like all day long. When we were younger, living on the farm, my sister and I and some friends of ours, or like family members and stuff, we used to just go out in the morning and then come back in the evening. Be it up a mountain, around the farm, into a forest where we got lost and spent the whole day freaking out, and then realized that we weren't actually lost, we were really close to home. Stuff like that. We've been on many hikes for really long periods of time. We also walk Nero on the cliff paths every day for like an hour. I don't know. We're very active. I was probably even more so active back when I was younger, when this whole computer thing didn't really play a big part in my life. Although I did start using a PC at a very young age while we were living on the farm already, but still. I've been on some really, really long hikes. I'm just seeing Nero skulking around the kitchen. He's probably hunting the mouse. I don't even know. Although we haven't seen the mouse here for a couple of days, I still have a mouse video to upload. I still have it. I'm going to upload it soon. I just haven't found the right place to shove it in yet, but it just disappeared. We thinking that one of the cats of the neighborhood, or maybe the owl that always sits right outside our bedroom window without fail. He's there nearly every single night. Maybe he caught it. If so, good on him. That's, in my opinion, a good way to go. Being eaten alive by an owl. Anyway, next question. Pete Jono. Oh my god, Lumin. You have Piero's Remedy on your wall? Awesome. Where did you get it? I do indeed. That's Piero's Remedy over there. That's Sokolov's Elixir. Because of the color settings and vibrance and whatever you want to call it of my webcam, you can't see it super clearly. But there it is. That's the one. That's the other one. And let me just give you a quick tour. For those that don't know what's going on here, this is the Skyrim map. It's amazing. That's the one you get in the game box. I think all the copies of the game get it. These are all prints from the Guild Wars 2 Collector's Edition. They are so beautiful. That's a Charb battling a fire elemental. That's a big beast. And there's a band of adventurers down there. You can't see them in the bottom corner. Look at my fingers right now. There, touch it. Oh, there they are. They're doing battle with that big beast. And it's amazing. That looks like... Is that Frostgorge Sound or something? That's like a big snowy area. That's like a beautiful Sylvari, and that's a beautiful human. Straight up. This over here is a Mass Effect lithograph, little Normandy picture. That's Sanctuary from Diablo. And that's the Tapestry of the Ages from the Ultima 9 box. I've also got a map of Britannia over here, but the reason it's not in that gap over there, right the heck now, is because it's got a different type of frame and it's a slightly lighter color. It's not as perfectly black as these, so it looks a little bit out. I don't know if I may one day get the color changed of the surrounding area. What do you call this thing? The padding or whatever, the margin. Maybe I'll get the color changed that I can put it there. But that spot over there is actually going to be for the print that I get in Bioshock Infinite's Collector's Edition. But those two, to get back to your question, I actually got them from the Dishonored wiki. They came in extremely high resolutions, and I took that then to a professional printer. I had him printed on photo paper at the best possible quality, matte, not glossy, matte. And then I had it framed by the same woman that does all my framing. She loves me because I frame a bunch of stuff with her and she gives me the best deals ever. So that's that. I suggest that you do the same if you want something nice on your wall. If I had to calculate the total cost, I'd say the printing cost about 25 Rand. Okay. Then the framing cost about, and obviously finding the picture cost me nothing. The framing cost about 110 Rand. So let's just even it, round it up to 150. That would be around $15 to $20 at most, which in my opinion is worth it. Just look. Absolutely worth it. Next question. You should call your future daughter Juniper Lee. That's from an angry Soviet man. Then from Disbeliever H2O, you should name your first son Lumin. And then, tying in with these, MMA Tomaz says, this week's question, video games are obviously a huge part of your life. Would you go as far as to name your children after something or someone video game related? You do plan on having them at some point, right? Yes, we do. Baby Lumin or Juniper Lee. Also, I'm glad you enjoyed answering my question. When the PS4 comes out, you should forget about the PC and just switch to that. You can stream videos from it and do all kinds of cool stuff. I've been with Sony consoles since the PS1 and they're always amazing. Straight up they are. I won't switch away from PC, but I'm seriously considering getting myself a PlayStation 4 if it's as special as they say it is, and if it can record videos locally. That would be great. My webcam just froze. Why would my webcam just freeze? Please keep going. Please. Please. There. It's back. Okay. Whew. Didn't want to do that again. So there we go. Now, PlayStation part aside, naming my child Juniper Lee, I love the name Juniper. Perhaps not Juniper Lee, but Juniper is a beautiful name. And the abbreviated version, June, the shortened version, June, is so nice. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't name my daughter Juniper or June. I think those are such nice names. The chances are slim that I'll name my son Lumin, though. Really slim. Just because I currently go by the alias, the nickname Lumin, the gamer tag. I don't like that. Anyway, the gamer tag Lumin. I would probably not name him that, but video game related stuff, sure. Sure, I would, but it would have to have meaning, be special to me. It would have to be something that I like. I won't just randomly because go and do that. It would have to be something that actually matters. So we'll wait and see. You know, there are famous examples of this. People like Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter. I follow her on Twitter. She's amazing. And that's a beautiful name. The lady that does my frames is actually called Zelda as well. There's a fun fact for you. Anyway, the answer is yes. I would go as far as to name them something video game related. Sure. If Helene's okay with it. Obviously. I gotta put that in there. Then, Rennick McBride. Lumin, I see your parents have a vineyard. Some very good wines come out of South Africa, and I was wondering if your family does any exporting. If so, what is the name or label, as I would love to try it. Also, you said you worked for a little while on the farm, just wondering what you did and how you liked it. Thanks. So, they don't export. I don't even know if they sell like commercially yet. I don't think they do, but they just in the, like, let's just say their whole wine creation thing is still in its infancy. My dad is still learning the ins and outs. The wine that they make, some of it is really good. I've tasted it, and some of it comes out badly, but the great thing is that he agrees that some of it comes out badly. I think that most of it nowadays, though, is starting to taste like really, really good quality wine. And the main reason for that is just because it's made with care. You know, they aren't making wine by the thousands and thousands and thousands of liters. They're making barrel of this, barrel of that, barrel of that. And because of that, it tends to, you know, just be something that's much more from the heart. I don't know. They pour their heart and soul into it. So it just tastes better because of that. But they don't export, they don't sell in any shops, nothing like that yet. I will let everyone know when that happens. I'm sure they'd love it if I let everyone know as well. So don't worry, wait around and I'll tell you. As for working on the farm, I didn't actually work on the farm. I think that if I had to work on the farm, it would be a very management-based position, because that's currently what my father and, well, my father does pretty much everything, but my sister's husband also works with my father on the farm, and he pretty much spends all his day either sitting on the phone in the office or making sure things are happening the way they should. That's the kind of thing that is really important, obviously, and with the amount of stuff that's going on in their farm now, because they've got vineyards, they've got almonds, lots of almonds, which they taste so good. They got their first harvest of almonds this year, and man, it's amazing. Vineyards, almonds, all sorts of other fruit trees and stuff which aren't really bearing much fruit yet. Then they got a campsite, which is super cool as well. There's just a lot going on. So there's obviously a lot to manage. So I guess that's the kind of thing I would have done if I had worked there, but, you know, I don't. Alinx X. That's a very weird nickname. I may be buying a supercomputer for animation and gaming soon. I'd like to know how much RAM is considered to be excessive for gaming. I'd say it's a simple question. Something like 16 gigs is probably excessive. I'd say 8 gigs is considered reasonable nowadays. If you double that to 16, then you're looking at excessive. But Alinx X says, I'm budgeting on 30,000 Rand. That's going to be a pretty beefy PC. I'm jealous. Buying a PC for 30k, wow. That would be my dream PC. If I could spend that much on a PC. Moving along. Matt Lickfeld. Matt Lickfeld, I love your surname. I don't know why. Is that how you pronounce it? Lickfeld. Probably not. Okay, Lumin. Two-part question, somewhat related. I apologize for the length in advance, and I'll have to split them up. The Elder Scrolls Online Alliance's trailer looks absolutely amazing, but it's only a cinematic trailer. Do you think there'll be a time when cinematic trailers are the actual possible gameplay in the game? And do you think that time is sooner rather than later, with the announcement of the next-gen consoles? So, let me think about that. She's doing a dragon. I don't know which one that is. It's in the snowy area. And there are lots of people with lots of lag. But I think we're still a little bit off, a little ways off, being able to play a game that looks like that kind of cinematic. But at the same time, I do think that a lot of trailers that have been put out there, especially recently, like you say, considering the whole next-gen console thing and all that, especially recently, have been close to on par with the cinematic trailers. Close. Not the same. You can see that this is a cinematic and this is gameplay. Or at least some variation of gameplay. I think that there's sort of a gameplay hybrid that can look much more like cinematic, where they take the gameplay and they just add all sorts of effects and stuff to it, and they polish it nicely and they make it look much better than the actual gameplay looks. That is not that far off. I think we'll probably soon have games looking like those videos. I can't think of a trailer like right off the top of my head that uses that method, but what actually comes to mind immediately is what they did with the Aliens game. I don't know if you guys saw that video that compared how Aliens Colonial Marines looked while it was in beta, while it was still being demoed and stuff, and then how the actual launch of the game looked. That was shocking. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. But I think that it'll be a couple of years, but I still enjoy trailers just as much that aren't made as cinematic trailers. I mean, they can make gameplay trailers that look just as good and are just as exciting. So to me, it's not as big a deal as to some others. And I do think that cinematic trailers, they have their place. Blizzard, for instance, makes the best use ever of cinematic trailers. It is so special. Every time they release a new trailer, the whole world freaks out about it for good reason. Like the StarCraft Vengeance trailer that was released recently, that was so good. Wow. But yes, in conclusion, I do think there'll be a time, sooner rather than later, that our games will look like the cinematics. Maybe not on PS4 or Xbox 720 or whatever the new consoles are, but soon. Then, the second one, speaking of amazing looking games, Destiny looks even more amazing, but it's said that it'll not be published on PC. Looks like a game to start another... What? It looks like a good game to start another guild to have Illuminati save the world yet again. I'm bad at reading. I apologize. If the stories are true and it will not be on PC, will you buy a console to play it on and record these grand adventures? Yes, I would absolutely, if Destiny ends up being a game that I really want to play, I would consider getting myself a PS4 to play it and record and to see how that goes. I'm bad at playing console games. I'm so bad, but I'd still enjoy it. Absolutely. As for Destiny not coming to PC, I don't think that's been 100% confirmed yet. Same goes for GTA 4. 5, not 4, GTA 5, but maybe the first iteration of Destiny won't come to PC. I'm sure at some point down the line they will think about putting it on PC, because it's not the same if you don't release your game on PC, and I think that they know that when it comes to MMO type games, the PC has such a large market and audience to tap into. They could call themselves the WoW killer. There you go. They can just take those 10 million subs from World of Warcraft, put them all in their game, and be happy. Straight up. Vizone 3000. Lumin, how good is your eyesight? Have you ever needed to wear glasses or contacts? If you've ever needed to, never needed to, you must tell me how a gamer like yourself does not have bad eyesight. Tell me your secret. I don't know if I've got good or bad eyesight. I've probably got average eyesight. I don't have any special 20/20 vision or anything like that. When I went for my driver's license test type thing, where you look into those little things to try and read the tiny little letters, then, and I don't know if you guys have this all around the world, but we have to go and put our eyes like this on a thing, and then we have to read what's the first line, what's the second line, what's the third line, etc. Actually, it doesn't work like that. No, they have a little square, then the square is split into 4, and then they have a little triangle in one of the corners. Then she goes through these slide type things, and then it's in the one side, other side, other side, other side, other side, other side. You have to tell her where it is, And if you get it wrong, if you do badly on your test, then they tell you, well, listen here, you need glasses. I did okay on that. I didn't get the last one. I got all of it except the last one. I don't know what that means. But, you know, I suppose my eyesight's okay. Gets a bit sensitive because of, you know, how bright it is outside. I don't know. I don't think my eyesight is bad. But it's also not amazing. So I also can tell you right now that it's not been deteriorated in any way by playing PC. No. I don't see why it should. I don't, at the moment at least, play so obsessively that I just stay in front of my PC for hours and hours on end. I like to stay active. I get up every couple of minutes because I get like stir crazy. I have to move around. So I am more so than I think most people will tell you have to get up every hour at least for 15 minutes or whatever to take a break. I don't know how that works, but I definitely take more breaks than that. Even if it's just walking over there to the fridge to drink some water and then come back, or walking outside to look at the weather, see how it's looking in, you know, the outside world, stuff like that. I don't think that I've had any problems with gaming and eyesight. Just putting that out there. Then, Monkers X. I don't think you necessarily needed a whole new PC, do you? From your page, I'd say a new GPU and maybe a whack. Oh, and maybe whacking a bit more RAM if you felt like it. So, no, that's not going to work. I have a first generation i7. I don't know if you know what that means, but it means that it's pretty old. I think it's running at the moment at like 2.8 gigahertz or something. But when i7 and i5, i3, all those things, when they first came out, that's when I bought my PC, brand new. And the new iterations of these chips are just so much faster. So much faster. I also don't have an SSD. So the most important parts would be the SSD, a new graphics card. Oh man, would I love a Titan. The chances are so slim that I'd ever get my hands on a Titan, but it would be so nice. It's the perfect card for me because it's quiet. It's a single GPU. You don't have any of that SLI nonsense to worry about. It's an NVIDIA card, which I do prefer right now over AMD cards or ATI cards, whatever you want to call it. But I'd need a new graphics card. I'd need a new CPU. I'd need a SATA, solid state drive. Don't know what I was saying there. And I'd obviously need some more RAM that actually runs a little bit faster than my RAM currently does. But I'll have to see about all of that when I decide to upgrade my PC. I mean, it's not going to happen like right the heck now. Although I'd love to. I just don't have the funds right now. And I would rather wait a little bit longer and see if I can get something special. Something that'll actually last me a really long time. Instead of rushing out now to just make a small upgrade. I don't know yet. I'll have to wait and see. But when I do decide, you know, now's the time to upgrade, I'll let you guys know. And I'll ask advice. Because I'm not going to be that silly person that pretends to know more than everyone else about PCs, because there's always someone out there that knows more than you or me about computer hardware. That person may be watching right the heck now. Who even knows? But I'm definitely not above asking for help. So I will. When that time comes, I will ask you guys what you think I should get, what you think I shouldn't get, and we'll discuss it. I can't wait. Now, Spurficus. Chris. This is a very curious nickname. Is that an R? Spurficus. I don't know. Hi Lumin, you've said in your XCOM videos that you like a challenge. What about playing Dark Souls or possibly Dark Souls 2 when it comes out? Might well be a long series, but I would love to hear your comments and stuff on it. It would be glorious. I've never played Dark Souls before. I've seen a couple of videos about it. I've seen a friend playing it before. It looked kind of infuriating. It really did, I won't lie. But maybe. Maybe if I do one day pick up a PlayStation 4 and it can record, who knows. Right now though, I don't see myself buying the PC version of Dark Souls 1 or playing the console version of Dark Souls 1. I was going to say Dark Souls 2, but that's not out yet. I can't really record my PlayStation footage just yet. I think you need like a PVR or whatever for that. I don't have any of that mumbo jumbo, so I can't really do that. But I would not be against playing Dark Souls 2 when it comes out. Who knows? Then, Shelburne SA, hey Lumin, I'm also from SA, and I wanted to know how you got into making money from YouTube. How does it work? That's a question I get asked a lot, and it's pretty simple. You can't really just jump into YouTube with the intent of making money. That's definitely not what I did. I started doing it because, I wanted to do it. I was really intrigued by this whole world of YouTube, and, StarCraft 2 came around. I started doing my news episodes about it, and it was just so much fun. Putting myself out there, being able to inform people at the same time. I got passionate about making videos, and for me specifically, it's taken a long time to get where I am right now. I've been doing this whole video making thing for, what month is it? March, April, May, 2 years and like 9 months or 10 months already. A long time, nearly 3 years, and only recently did I start making any money at all from it. So you don't just get into it. That's the sad thing. If you have, the will, if you want to get out there and make videos, if you're passionate about it, if you feel that it's something you'd really enjoy, then you start doing it as a hobby. You see if people like your videos. Maybe you're amazingly good at. Maybe it's your calling. Who knows? But the sad truth is that you can't just start and instantly, have cash flowing in. Because for me right now, there's no flowing of cash. Sure, I get some money from it, but for most people it probably wouldn't be enough to live. We're very good at budgeting, so we make do with what we have. And I've got a lot of subscribers, I guess. 18,000 right now. 18,000, not 17,000. It's a lot of people that watch my videos. So that's it. You can, from the very first video that you upload, as far as I know, well, not the very first, but I think it just takes a couple of videos and a couple of thousand views before you can monetize your own work, not gameplay footage. Some games you can, however, some games you can monetize, Terraria, Minecraft, some others, I can't remember, but you can immediately start making money from the views that you get, but it's going to be a couple of cents, sadly. Anyway, that's how it is. It's not easy. You have to really persevere. It takes time, but it is, in my opinion, if you stick with it, one of the most rewarding experiences ever. Then, second, third, first, about the Pistorius case. I'm surprised that you jumped to a conclusion about this case. I don't think anyone who's not trained in criminal law or crime investigation should make assumptions and share them with a layman audience, because it can only be an uneducated and most likely incorrect opinion. But if you assume he wanted to actually murder his girlfriend, why would he shoot her through a wooden door? He could have easily missed her and attracted the guards outside. Well, firstly, if he's using a gun, he's going to attract the guards outside anyway. That's going to happen. If he wanted to really do this, he wouldn't have used a gun in the first place. There are much better ways of murdering your... Let's not get into that. Actually, let's not talk about how to murder your girlfriend or boyfriend, because that's a bad topic. It really is. Anyway, I was merely speculating. I was saying if most of the time. I wasn't actually saying, well, this is what happened, that's what happened, and this is what I believe for sure. Definitely not. Don't get me wrong. I do, however, think that given what we were told, it seems extremely unlikely that this was an accident. That's probably the best way to just summarize all of it. Extremely unlikely. Who knows? If someone gets really angry at someone else, you can never know what they're going to do. You can never know. Some people said he was unstable at the time. I can't say for sure. I've not been following the trial at all. I sort of forgot about it the next week after it happened. It was just gone. Because that's not the kind of thing that I really spend any time worrying or thinking about. So I didn't mean to misinform anyone, but a lot of you must know that I was just, putting my thoughts on the matter out there, and that's what you guys asked for, so there you go. Next. Hoorn. Hey Lumin, have you seen Digimon? If so, is Season 5 your favorite? I've not seen Digimon before. I think I've watched about 10 seconds of Digimon. I've watched more Pokemon than I have Digimon. Quite a lot of Pokemon, actually. I don't think I have a favorite season of Pokemon. But if you haven't, you should see it. And it will be your favorite, I promise you. Also, have you seen Doctor Who? Also, no. I've not seen Doctor Who. My parents watched all of it from the very start of the series, which is like so old already, till the newest ones. And they enjoyed it immensely. They told me I should watch it. I gotta move my chair. There you go. I've not seen either of those. I don't know how much I'm missing out on Digimon. I don't know what Digimon's story is. Is it like Pokemon? Except with like robots? Or something? I don't know. I don't know. As for Doctor Who, it does look great. I've only heard good things about it. And it's got such a strong and passionate following as well that, it's something that I will definitely get around to one day. I'm actually trying to get a video done for Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. By trying, I mean I haven't actually started yet. I've been wanting to record a video about it because I got a lot of thoughts about the movie. I watched it just a day or two ago, and wow. I'm just going to say wow, and you can just extrapolate what you will from that. I'll tell you about it in March. Let's just say in March, I'll have a video of Nausicaa up, and I can't wait to get it up. Then, 70s Glass. Initiate. So, Porsche 911 SBS. Hey Lumin, could you share with us your opinion on Invictus and District 9 a little bit? They are the only two movies about South Africa that I can think of. Which one do you prefer? Either an easy or impossible question, probably. In my case, super easy. I don't like rugby at all. So Invictus, I didn't even watch that. But let me tell you that I know every single last detail about Invictus because, hey, I live in South Africa. I was around when the 95 World Cup happened. I was around when Nelson Mandela was in power. I saw all of that. I lived through all of that. So I know exactly what happened there. It's a touching story. It really is. They do slightly over-dramatize it a bit. I feel that Morgan Freeman is a better actor than Nelson Mandela. Also, Matt Damon, much better actor than Francois Pinard could ever be. For sure. But still, that movie was great. I know it for a fact. I just didn't watch it. District 9, however, whew, that was amazing. I loved everything about District 9. Helene told me that movie, freaked her out or something. But I honestly really enjoyed it. And I think it's great that there are movies out there that show South Africa off. Especially in a positive light, like Invictus. Or mostly positive at least. I can't say that District 9 was showing it off in a positive light because for those that don't know, I think District 9 was kind of meant to show how the whole xenophobia situation was. Yeah, I spoke about this 20 Q&As ago, I think, about District 9. And I gave everyone my thoughts on it. I don't mind just talking about it quickly again, though. It was meant to show how the xenophobia is, how the South African people don't like immigrants from other countries, be it from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Botswana, it doesn't matter, any nearby countries. There was a time, a year or so ago, maybe a bit longer, a couple of years ago, where it was really, really, really bad. I don't know how it is now because I've not been following the news. I've not been, seeing big cases of it being terrible or whatever, but it was really bad with South Africans being incredibly angry at these immigrants. And the problem was that the immigrants came into the country, into South Africa, and they were hard workers. They were eager to make it here. They put in the hours. They did much better jobs than any South Africans could ever do. And I'm not talking about the general population. And because of that, the South Africans resented them. They were angry at them because they were taking their jobs because they were harder workers. So the masses in South Africa were lazy. They were entitled. They were asking for more the whole time. And they still do that. Lots of people in South Africa do that. Lots of South Africans of any color, shape, age, lots of them are entitled. I don't know why. They just feel like they deserve. Who knows? Maybe I just have really strong feelings about that for some reason. Because we see, cases of it in the news the whole time. People striking because they want more money, yet the jobs that they do are subpar. Anyway, then these people come in from other countries, and they have none of that in their country. They've got so little. They come here, they work so hard, they start earning proper money. They take other people's jobs that weren't working nearly as hard as them. They take them because they deserve them, and then people get angry at them. That was kind of not exactly the same, but that's what District 9 was meant to show off. How South Africa quarantines the prawns and treats them like, well, they were kind of not humans, but treats them like something else. And it was, it was a pretty serious and dark movie where that was concerned. But the movie itself, the action was amazing. The special effects were great. I felt that it looked kind of authentic as well. So, I don't know. I just loved that movie. It was so good. I need to watch it again. And, Sholto Copley? What's his name? The main actor. He was good. He was good. Anyway. Moving on. Hi, Lumin. This is from the Efren Lopez. Have you ever had tacos? I'm talking about legit, delicious, hot, spicy Mexican tacos. Not Taco Bell or something like that. If so, do you like them? Saludos, Hermando. That's so cool. That is so cool. Whatever that means, straight back at you, buddy. Straight back at you. So, I don't think so. I mean, I've had some cheap tacos at a place called Cubana already. We've had bad tacos before. And I don't mean bad as in, these taste terrible or whatever. But we've had standard, nothing special tacos. And, I still enjoyed them. Just because I tend to enjoy food like that. But I've not had really good, authentic tacos before. No. I would love to. I really would love to. One day. One day, I will have proper Mexican food. Then, Crusade 37, Lumin, what's up, dude? You and Eileen seem like pretty health-orientated people. Do either of you drink alcohol much or at all? Then there's another question. We drink the occasional glass of wine because it's apparently really, really, really healthy. You're supposed to drink 1 glass of wine a day. I think they said red wine. Not more than that. And it's supposed to be really good for your heart, for your entire being, I guess. More so for women than men. And funny enough, the same thing, because we were reading a lot about this a while ago. The same thing goes for chocolate. If you can get some really good quality dark chocolate, have a block a day. You're going to be in good health. That's it. So, yeah, that we have a glass of wine every now and then. We were talking about wine earlier in this Q&A. We generally do have wine from my parents' farm, which is obviously nice for us. But that's it. Like every now and then, that's about it. Then, not related, how do I find out about the Guild Wars 2 guild? I checked the site, but didn't see anything about where to go. Excellent work. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much. You can just go to talesoflumin.com, click on the forum button, then in the Guild Illuminati section, you can just register on the forum. In the Guild Illuminati section, there's a waiting list. You can just add your name to that, and you'll probably be invited within a day to the guild. We've got space right now, and everyone is welcome. So please, join us. We just started on guild missions. It's a ton of fun, bit stressful, but a ton of fun. Then, Ova Mahan. Hey Lumin, my man. Do you enjoy dubstep? No, I absolutely do not enjoy dubstep. I enjoy some of the jokes and stuff that come from dubstep. But here, he also says, I know you enjoy video game music, and while not exactly the same style as what you seem to like, I know of a lot of dubstep songs that are reminiscent of retro video game music. Give Rise Final Spark a look right here on YouTube. I gave it a look, I gave it a listen, and in my opinion, most of that song is super cool. I liked the flow of it. I like the feel of the song. And you're right, it is reminiscent of some video game tracks out there. And in my opinion, there's some really good dubstep that's not really dubstep. Lindsay Sterling, the violinist, is that what you call a violin player? She made this dubstep track featuring a heavy amount of violins, and I gotta say that was super good. That was dubstep and I kind of enjoyed it, but, you know, I'm not really a big fan of the genre. So, Boyka Forever asks, Hoi Lumin, how did you like the TGS podcast? I'm not even going to answer that here. Check the previous vlog that I uploaded. I spoke all about it there. I loved it. The most amazing experience ever. I was so honored to be able to be on there. And what can I say? High point of my YouTube career. Right the heck there. Right the heck there. Random epic person. Hey Lumin, I have a few questions about the podcast. Oh man, what? I didn't even see this here. Firstly, I'll answer these. It's not even a problem. I hope I haven't answered them already, but we'll see. Firstly, my thoughts. Congratulations, it's about time. You were a great guest, thank you, and spoke a lot. Despite the freezes, you were one of the best guests ever. Not just me, read the comments on the VOD. I did read the comments. But my questions to you, ignoring the freezes, how do you feel it went? Not ignoring the freezes, how do you feel it went? Both of those, it went amazingly well. I had a bit of technical stuff to work with, like the delay. I don't know if you guys realized it, but sometimes when I was finished talking, it took them a moment to pick the conversation up and keep going, because there was a bit of delay on when I said something, and because of that, sometimes it looked like I was interrupting, but it didn't sound to me like I was actually interrupting. I said something in a gap. So there was a gap. They stopped talking. I was like, okay, it's my turn now. I started talking, and then they started talking at the same time, but they didn't actually. It only sounded like they started talking at the same time because I started talking. It took a while for my voice to get to them. Then they had already started talking again. So they were being polite, but they also had to just work with this whole delay thing. Anyway, I feel like it went amazingly well. The new subscribers that came from watching me on the podcast, welcome to the lot of you. They seem to enjoy it as well. They subscribed because they genuinely enjoyed seeing me on the podcast, and hopefully they'll genuinely enjoy my videos on my channel. Hopefully. And I'm saying they. I should be saying you, because you guys are probably watching this. Thank you for watching this, and I apologize for my voice. It's late. I've been talking a lot today. Then, it's probably too early to say, but has it brought in many subs, views, as you hoped? Or as many? Then, the last question is, Jesse, TB, or Dodger? Love you, Lumin. I love you too. Thank you very much for the question. It's brought in a lot of subscribers, for sure. I think I got about 1,000 from it, which is super cool. More than I expected to get from it, obviously. I would obviously like a lot more. Obviously, I'd always like a lot more. But at the same time, I'm super grateful for what I got. And I feel that because the podcast is there now, it'll kind of slowly and steadily just give me more people, expose me to more people, and perhaps have them subscribe to me. Give me more people. Wow. Lumin the slave trader. I trade with your souls. Yes. Now, Jesse, TB, or Dodger? I'd have to say Dodger. And this may seem like the obvious answer, but she was really nice to me. In other words, she goaded me into like feeling welcome and talking, and just she helped me out a lot just to feel comfortable and all that. And I would also say it was a close tie with TB and Jesse. I mean, they were all so great. You know, it may have seemed super intimidating. I may have been super nervous at the start, but as I sat there talking to them, it just felt more and more natural. And it's only because of them, because of the way that they are, because they're able to just treat me like one of the guys. And that was great. So maybe I'll take back that I said Dodger and say just all three of them. There you go. Then SonicMan86, do you use AdSense to monetize your videos? Also, now that you're on the TGS podcast, do you have any updates about partnering with TGS? I've been partnered with TGS for, a good couple of months already, nearly a year. And no, not, well, close to a year. Or have I been for longer than a year? Jeez Louise, I can't even remember, but I've been with him for a long time already. And that said, no, I don't use AdSense. They monetize my videos for me, and that's it. So there you go. That's why I was on the TGS podcast. Only TGS members get to be on the podcast. So if you're not in TGS, you're not going to be on the podcast. Force actually recently joined TGS. That's why he was on the previous podcast just before me. So there you go. Then, Slider575. Hey Lumin, I've been a subscriber since you only had a few hundred subscribers. That was a long time ago. My question is, will you ever play any of the Mass Effect DLC content that's come out? I know you were quite a fan of the series. I'm just making a face because I'm trying to read what it says here. And the final DLC is coming soon. Yes, Citadel. It actually released yesterday or something. I was considering playing the DLC. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can give me a quick out of 10 rating of the rest of the DLC altogether. I've heard good things about Citadel, but maybe I'll go back. Who knows? Maybe I'll only go back to it before the next Mass Effect comes out to refresh my memory and stuff like that. I can't say for sure, but it's something that I wouldn't mind doing if I got a bit more time. Then, xchris445, this is actually the last question. Lumin, what shade of blue is that on the wall? That is Liberty Blue. Does that answer your question? I don't know if that helps you at all. It's Liberty. We got it at the paint shop. I had to ask Helene before the podcast started what the color was to make sure. But there you go. The podcast. I just called it a podcast. Wow. That Lumin guy is full of himself. Can you even call it a podcast if you're doing it by yourself? The Multiple Personalities of Lumin podcast. Featuring Lumin and Evil Lumin. There you go. I should make that a thing. I really should. It'll be like Gollum sitting in his little cave talking to himself. That's what it would be like. Except it would be me sitting in my little cave here. I'd turn the lights down. That would be such a good thing. Maybe it'll happen one day. Who knows? Maybe I go crazy enough to make the Evil Lumin /Lumin podcast. But that's it. I'm already exhausted just because. Speaking of playing DLC of games and stuff, I've been wanting to get into playing some older games. I'm just not able to fit that stuff in because Thief was recently announced. I was thinking to myself, wow, it would be so much fun going back and playing the other Thief games again. I want to play Ultima 7 sometime. There are so many games. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. If you have any questions, you can leave them as comments below this video. That's the way that you ask questions in this Q&A. I don't generally prefer it if you mail me or send it via YouTube PM or anything, because it's so much easier for me to just go through the comments, take the questions out of there, put them in my WordPad here, and do it that way, instead of like having to search through my inbox and then having to search through my YouTube inbox and then going through the comments. It's easier if you just put them all there, so do that. If you have any questions regarding games, gaming, real life, South Africa, Helene, Nero Puppy, anything, feel free to leave them and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Again, I apologize for being tired and sounding hoarse and stuff, but there you go. Check back some for most importantly though. Happy leaving those questions. Happy that.